Chapter 7 The ketch stop-dog plowed her way merrily northward, westward in a slight touch. Kruva had shown Stag Axe the rudiments of tiller, rope, and sail, was taking a nap beneath the board seat in the bows, which served well as a tiny cabin. Like a fish to the water, the young badger had taken to the seafaring life. He enjoyed the freedom of wind and wave. Scarin turned his back upon Stag Axe, sitting on the boat seat. He began rummaging in the knapsacks, muttering to himself, "Nut bread and cheese and apples, what? That's the stuff to put a twinkle in a chap's eye. I say, what, Bounder's gone and scoffed all the blinking apples, eh, what?" Keeping the ketch on a level keel, Stag Axe answered to the hare, "You have, you great stomach on legs. What are you doing rummaging in those packs again?" Scarin looked up indignantly. "Doing? What in the name of perishing barnacles do you think I'm doing, eh? I'm making a meal to keep the jolly old body and fur together. A chap can't survive on fresh air, you know." Stag Axe stared severely at his gluttonous friend. "That'll be your fourth meal today, and it's barely noon. Go easy on the supplies. They're all we've got." Scarin held up a wedge of thick yellow cheese. "All right, I'll just have a smidgen of this to tide me over until dinner. Ha 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 ha. Tide me over, what? Now that's a nautical expression for me old Hardy, me old sea dog, me old barnacle bottom, ha 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 ha." So Stag Axe quickly lashed the tiller arm to the sail rope. Bounding forward, he grabbed the cheese from Scarin's paw and dropped it into the knapsack. Then taking both packs, he made his way aft and stowed them under the stern seat. "You've eaten quite enough for one day, matey. I'll take charge of the supplies. You can wait until dinner this evening, like me and Kruva." The hare glared at him and flopped his ears indignantly. "You, sah, are a great flippin' grub swiper, a pirate, huh? Depriving a poor young'un like me of his victuals. You stunt my growth, I'm warning you. If I die, it'll be your rotten fault." His friend chuckled. "If you can stay alive until dinner, then there's hope for you. But just put one thieving paw near these rations and I'll bite it." Scarin scuffed the deck dolefully. "Does it mean I'm going to starve to death?" The badger heard his expression. "Aye." The hare's mood changed in an instant. He began tough and resolute. Grabbing a coil of rope, he declaimed aloud, "Right then, so bloomin' well, I'll fish for me food. That's what I'll jolly well do. Oh yes, us and sailin' beasts gonna get along spiffy on yon bounty provided by the briny. Fish, that's the ticket. Whoopin' great fat tasty fish, what?" Tying an oversized hook onto the rope, Scarin searched around and came up with 2 apple cores, which he stuck on the hook. Whirling the lot around his head, he cast it out into the sea. "Right-ho! Come on, little fishies. No one on second thoughts. Come on, big fishies. You little chaps, stay put. Well, come on, you big chaps. Take the blinking bait. I can't sit around here starving. You know, so a great flippin' move on." Wakened by the disturbance, Kruva came out on the deck. He rubbing his sleep from his eyes, he took over the tiller from Stag Axe. "What's old Scarin up to now?" "Oh, he's gonna catch a fish before he dies of starvation." "Ha! He'll die of starvation, that's a good one. He ate more breakfast than both of us, and he scoffed 2 more meals since." "Then 3, Stag Axe corrected the sea otter. Scarin cast a jaundiced eye over their smiling faces. "Go on, laugh, your curmudgeons, but when I catch a whopping great fish, you ain't getting any. Not a confounded morsel, so there." Kruva kept a keen eye, caught a dorsal fin homing in on a line. He leapt up. "Pull in the line quick. Heave it in, matey." Scarin defiantly tied the line to the bowsprit. "Shan't. No point in getting jealous and shouting at me." He fell backwards as the line was snapped taut and the ketch took off like an arrow, with Kruva roaring, "Shark! We've been caught by a shark!" Whipping out a small knife, Stag Axe dashed to the bow. He raised it to chop the rope, but Scarin struck his paw aside. The knife dropped into the sea and sank. Kruva came running. He grabbed the hare by his tunic front. "You great brither and fool! Don't you hear what I said? That's a shark towing, a full-grown shark. 2, by the rate we're going." Stag Axe dashed the water from his eyes as the ketch set up a bow wave. Aye, and the only weapon we've got aboard you just knocked out of my paw. Scarin fought free of the sea otter's grip and sat down in amidship. Good old Mr. Shark. Wouldn't we get out to give us a fine ride, eh? I vote he'll let us tow us along for a league or two. When he gets tired and packs in pulling us, we'll heave him aboard and cook him up into a great big scoff. Super idea, what? Bumping up and down, the ketch skimmed over the waves. It was difficult to scan. Kriva crouched close to the triumphant grinning hair and berated him. You great flop-eared, pot-bellied, wire-whiskered buffoon, your trouble is that you don't realize you caught a big savage beast here, and rather it's got us. We're riding the whirlwind, and you've sitting there smiling. You can't see the danger we're in. You don't know what a shark looks like. Scarin twanged the taut line with his carefree paw. Oh, I didn't get your right in an uproar, old chap. I expect the jolly old shark's enjoying this as much as I am, what? Huh. You two are just jealous. I was the one who's jolly well caught the fish. Anyhow, I bet you're gonna keep going. We'll get to where we're going and blinking slight faster with it. We would be twiddling until and tweaking those tail ropes. Our friend the shark will get the worm out. You'll see. Then all of us we do is pop the blighter aboard for dinner. Stag Axe clung to the stern seat, blinking spray from his eyes. Though he hated to admit it, he was actually enjoying the sensation of speed, never having traveled at such a rate in all his life. The young badger tried to calm his other friend. Maybe Scarin was right. No real need to panic, is there? Kriva's head banged from the forward mast pole as they shot sideways onto a choppy wave. Ignoring the pain, he yelled fiercely. I'm surprised at you, mate. The shark could turn at any moment and smash the vessel to splinters, or it could suddenly dive and pull us all down with it. Wait till it gets tired, then pop it aboard for dinner. Don't listen to the fool. If we pull a live shark aboard without a weapon to mix us, we'll be the dinner. It'll eat us alive. The danger was there. They were in suddenly hit Scarin. His jaw dropped. Oh, corks, we're in for a bit of bloomin' fix, what? So it's all your fault, Stag Axe. You shouldn't have let me have a snack instead of making me fish for it. Now what do we do, chaps? The shark made the decision for them, slacking off for a moment, then going into a dive. The Stag Axe stern began to lift clear from the water. Kriva had surmised right. They're beginning to be pulled over. Eulalia! Scarin had to dive for the rope as it was attached to a great sea beast. Frantically, he bared his teeth and savagely tore at the rope fibers like it was some sort of magic creature. Stag Axe and Kriva could only sit flabbergasted at the sight of their friend, suddenly gone wild, roaring as he chomped away. Grr, grr, you flippin' fellfish! Chomp, chomp, chomp! You ain't pulling us down to the blinking bottom. Grr, grr! Can't have my blood burn herself to death. Grr, chomp, grr, crash! So go and find your own dithering lunch. Grip! Curling and twirling, the rope strand began to part. Scarin's jaw began going 50 to the dozen. His large white buck teeth moving like a blur as he attacked the flaying fibers. Finally, there was a loud twang as the rope snapped. All three were flown flat. The stopdog splashed down onto an even keel. Kriva was first up. He dashed over to Scarin, who was lying face down on the bow seat. He pounded his back delightedly. Har, you did it, shipmate. Stiffen me rudder. I never seen anything like that before. 'Twas tremendous. Still with his head hard against the seat fibers, face down, the young hare called out in strange language. Gow, grr, gon't go grack. Stag Axe pulled his head flat on the seat, level with his friend, trying not to burst out laughing. He explained Scarin's predicament to Kriva. You'll never believe this, but he's got his front teeth stuck in the wood. Scarin must have been biting too hard when the rope snapped, and our vessel slept down into the water. But he was still open-mouthed, his teeth stuck right into the seat. The hare wailed, Guts not gunny, and it Gertz. Stag Axe patted Scarin gently. I know it's not funny, and it hurts. Kriva, keep still now, mate. Let's see if we can get you loose. Kriva, hold his shoulders. The sea otter braced Scarin's shoulders. Stag Axe began to work with his powerful blunt claws, loosening odd splinters carefully and pulling away the larger fragments. He freed the hare's teeth. Scarin sat up and clapped a paw across his numbed mouth. "Thanks, Stag Axe. Me teeth hurt." He had to repeat the phrase until the badger understood. "Oh, right," he said. "Thanks, Stag Axe. My teeth hurt. Correct?" Scarin nodded his head generously and retired beneath the bow seat, where he lay nursing his sore mouth. Kriva was sympathetic. "Never mind, messmate. Your gob will probably be paining you for a while, but you'll soon be shipshape." The remainder of the day passed uneventfully, with the otter and the badger tiptoeing quietly about, so as not to disturb Scarin as his rest. In the early evening, Kriva put tinder to flint and made a small fire with charcoal in the deep stone bowl. Stag Axe rummaged through the rations and came up with a beet and barley flour, a jar of preserves, damson, honey, and a few other ingredients. Mixing them together with some water from their little water keg, he asked Kriva, "Ever had skilly and duff, mate?" His friend's eyes lit up with anticipation. "Hor, skilly and duff. Ain't nothing tastier. A sea otter's favorite victuals, I'd say." Stag Axe baked the mixture to a soft doughy pudding, using the damson juice and honey as the sauce. It smelled delicious. Kriva made her way forward and shook Scarin awake. "Grubs up, matey. Guess what Stag Axe made for us? Skilly and duff, nice and hot, with damson juice and hot sauce poured over it." The young hare crawled from beneath the seat and sat up, with his head in both paws. He began turning a peculiar unhealthy shade. "Boats going up and down, up and flaming well down all day. Ooh, me mouth hurts like blazes. I don't think I'll be taking supper this evening. Thank you. Just leave me alone so I can die quietly, what?" Kriva went back to the stern seat and accepted a bowl of supper from the Stag Axe, while he explained, "Old Scarin don't want no supper." The young badger was taken aback by the news. "Doesn't want any supper? Is his mouth still paining him?" Kriva spoke with a mouthful of hot skilly and duff. "Aye, but I knows the real reason. That creature's seasick." In the gathering twilight, Stag Axe found it difficult to see Scarin's face. He served himself a portion of supper. "Seasick? How did you know?" The sea otter chuckled mischievously. "'Cause he's gone the color of a toad's tummy. That one's sure way to tell, though. Watch this." He called out in a jolly voice to the hare. "Feeling better, me old mate? If the dust doesn't suit you, I'll make you up a tonic. Some cold water and oatmeal with wild onion chopped in it, mixed with a touch of beeswax tallow from the candle. That'll put you right. What you say?" A moan escaped Scarin as he staggered to the side of the catch and leaned over, retching and heaving. "Great, rotten, fat, ruddered cad. That's what you are. I'll soon be scoffed by a shark, then eat your foul concoction, what?" Kriva grinned at Stag Axe and helped himself to make supper. Our old mate's seasick, sure enough." Stag Axe sipped at his beaker of water. "Poor Scarin. But with all the food he put away and the exciting today, plus getting his teeth caught fast, he's only himself to blame, really. Well, he's laying about on the deck like that. Why don't you go and give a good check around under the bow seat? I'll search back here. There must be some sort of weapon, a knife, anything. I'll feel much safer if we had something better than a few wooden spoons in case of trouble. It's important that we have at least one weapon." They lit 2 small lanterns from the firebowl and set about their task. Scarin gradually moaned himself back into sleep against the night shade set over in the tackless deeps of the sea. In the corner beneath the stern, Stag Axe found a sling and some stones, wrapped in a roll of old bark-cloth. He was unwrapping them when Kriva returned carrying various objects. "Look at what I found under the ledge by the forepeak. A sword, a dagger, and this old bow. Pity it hasn't got any string or ears." The badger inspected the sword. "It's a typical sea rat blade, curved with a cross hilt. My father has a collection of them in the armory. Rusty blades with a few nicks in the edge. Sharp though. It'll clean it up a bit, and it'll look just fine. Let's take a look at the dagger there, mate." The otter tossed the knife in the air, catching it defiantly by the blade tip. He turned it in it this way and that. "Good old apple slicer, that un. Ain't a mark on it. No, wait, har. There's a pattern burned to the handle. 'Tis the same as the sign marked the stern of the vessel. Must have belonged to one of the sea rats I borrowed old Stopdog from. Cast your eyes over it, matey." Stag Axe took the blade, holding the lantern close. He inspected the brand. I wonder what it means. Sort of lucky charm, mayhaps." The otter struggled as he tested the wood unstrung bow. 'Tis ain't much use. Nice bit of you, though 'twill do for a walking staff. What was in your bark cloth? Stag Axe indicated the sling and pebbles. Nothing much, but look at this bark cloth. It's got more funny markings. It's not writing or pattern. Criver brightened up as he inspected the thing. A map, me hearty, that's what it is. I recognize this coastline, up north and east of here, well beyond your father's mountain. That ain't markings, that ain't marked on it. But you see, I know these bays and inlets from long ago. Take this one. If when we was to sail due east at dawn, we'd probably run right into it. Stag Axe held the lantern closer as he inspected the map. There's an arrow marked here, right at the river that runs out over the beach from the tree shapes and dunes. Any idea what that would make us, if we can find it? Criver pondered. Could be what they call the woods called Mossflower, probably though I ain't never been up that far. The young badger's eyes lit up. Mossflower. My dad and mom were always talking about it. Most of the older long patrol hares too. The Abbey of Redwall is supposed to be somewhere in the Mossflower area. Have you ever heard of Redwall Abbey, Criver? Har, who ain't? Redwall Abbey is supposed to be a wondrous place. Peaceful, happy, and I hear they've got the most marvelous victuals there ever. Expert cooks at the best of the grove. Stag Axe rolled up the cloth carefully, though his paw was shaking slightly with excitement. Then let's make it the destination of the voyage. That's a river running across the shore into the woods. It says so on the map. Why don't we sail up there and pay Redwall a visit? Criver grinned from ear to ear as he shook his friend's paw. Aye, shipmate, why not? I don't think Stag Axe will object, do you? The badger cast an eye over his friend's sleeping figure. The only way he'll object to voyage was if there is no scoff on the other end. Once he's feeling better, he'll jump at the idea. How far do you think this river is? Scratching his rudder, the sea otter estimated. 'Tis hard to say. We've got dragged off a course by the shark today. We're a bit far westward, but I'll tack her east and north. Then we'll see where we are in a few days from now. Stag Axe could not help shuddering with delight. I've heard about the Abbey all my life, and now I'm going to see it for myself. Redwall, here we come.